Hi everyone, this is Alex with BIMitUp. Today I'm going to show you how to create fire pump test headers in Revit. Fire pump test headers are used to test fire pumps, and they're typically outside of the fire pump room. The number of fire hose valves depends on the flow of the fire pump. So typically is 250 GPM per fire hose valve. So for a 1000 GPM pump, you'll require 4 fire hose valves. So we're going to create this one first. And then out of this one, we're going to modify it to create a 500 GPM test header. And then finally, we're going to create a 6 fire hose valve test header for 1500 GPM. And if you want to download any of those test headers, you can simply just scan the QR code that you see on the screen now, and it'll take you directly to BIMitUp.com to download it. Let's get to it. Now think about it, it makes sense. If you like this kind of content, you can subscribe to the channel. If you click that bell, you get notifications and then you don't miss any of our new videos. And if you're serious about your professional training, go ahead and visit us at BIMitUp.com, and there you can contact me directly for some professional training. Alright, so I'm going to do this one first, which is a 6-inch inlet, and it can handle all the way up to 1000 GPM. And then I'm going to do this one, which is an 8-inch inlet, and it can handle all the way up to 2000 GPM. So I'm going to go to Families, and I'm going to navigate all the way down to Generic Model. And I'm going to click Open. And now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click here and make sure that I categorize this as a pipe accessory. So I click OK. And I'm going to bring in that PDF. So I'm going to go to Insert, PDF. Then I get this little message that tells me that the image will not be visible in project. That's fine. Then I'll go where I save the PDFs, and I'm going to bring in the 1000 GPM. So click Open. I'm going to give a little more resolution, maybe 150 dpi. I'm going to delete this anyway. And I'm just going to spot it right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scale this to the correct dimension. There are several ways of doing this, but in my case I'm going to go to Create. I'm going to do a model line. I'm going to eyeball it from here, and I'm going to make this 6.625 inches. So 6.625 inches. So I can click on this PDF and go to Scale. I can go Graphical. So from here to here, I want to reduce it to be this size. Now I can delete this, and now I'm going to move this whole thing based on this center point, and I'm going to place it here at the origin. I can delete this reference line now, and now I'm going to approximately trace around this contour so I create a revolve. I'm going to go to Create, Model Line. I'm going to start here. I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to do a spline. Probably click here, 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 and here, and then enter. Oh, and I'm going to do another line from here up. I'm going to do TR from here to here. I'm going to define a new reference plane. I'm going to pick line, and I'm going to pick this line here. Then I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to mirror it, picking axis. I'm going to click here. I'm going to hide this temporarily to see what the hell I'm doing. Then I can create another line, model line. I can pick this plane, and I'm going to do TR from here to here. And I can grab this line here, make it meet this one. Now what I'm going to do is temporarily hide this. So I'm going to click on the PDF, HH to hide, and I'm going to create that revolve. So I go Revolve. I'm going to pick lines, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and I'm going to click on Axis Line, and I'm going to pick this line here, and I'm going to click OK. Now I can do high restore. Now let's create an extrusion. I'm going to go create extrusion. I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to more or less eyeball it and put it here to here. I'm going to give it 1 inch and click OK. And then I'm going to copy this extrusion. I'm actually going to copy it left, let's say 4 inches, just temporarily. I'm just going to measure this, but this is essentially the exterior diameter of a 2.5 inch line. And then this one's going to be the interior piece of pipe, is the exterior diameter of 2.5 inch line. So I can just eyeball it here real quick and just put like 1.25 inches just to have something. And then I'll move those 4 inches back so they're both concentric, right? And then to this one I can give 2 inches and just click OK. Now let's take a look at our 3D view to see what's going on. So we can see that our extrusion, first it was done in the wrong plane. Let me relabel this planes as left. Yeah, so let me go to the left view. And I'm going to first rotate this from here 90 degrees. Then I'm going to move those two from here to here. That's fine, we can delete the element. We can now extrude this into the solid. And now I'm going to open my fire hose valve family. And I'm going to open this standard simple fire hose valve that I created. If you want to take a look at how I did this one, you can check it out. Then I'm going to remove this connector. And I'm going to save as a different family. No connector. Now I can close this, and then here I'm going to insert that family. So I'm going to load that family. I think by now I can just remove this already. Let's go to manage images, and I'm just going to delete. Let me go to families, pipe accessories. I'm just going to drop that in here. I'm going to hit my space bar to rotate. I'm going to place it right there. Let's take a look at our 3D view. Actually go to the real back view and then rotate this using this as the center of rotation. I'm going to do 90 degrees just so that it's facing the front. Could probably do an array here under the modify tab. Just click here and do a radial array. But to keep it simple, simply select this whole thing here, and I'm going to do mirror drawing axis. I'm going to start from the center at 135. I can ignore this. Then I'm going to do the same thing with this too, and then I'll do another axis now at 40. Click close. Now we look at our 3D view. We can shade this a little bit, and this is looking pretty decent. We're missing here this extrusion, so let's see what's going on there. You can see that it was going the other way. Let's just move it from here to here. Let's take another look. And that's looking pretty decent. So all we can do is save this one as the 1000. Then we remove 2 of the valves and we save it as 500. And we change the connection diameter to 4 inches. And then we're going to modify to create the one for 2000 GPM. So save as, family, fire pump test headers. I'm going to call it fire pump test header 100 GPM. Fire pump test header radial 100 GPM. Now we can create a connector. So create pipe connector. Select this face. Tab select. There you go. I know that this is going to be 6 inches. I could associate it to a parameter, but it's not worth it because you know, because I'm going to have separate families for each flow, so I can make this 6 inches. The system classification can be fire protection wet, and now we simply save. And now for the 500, we can delete this here, and this here, and this here, and this here, and then change this to a 4-inch, and then we can save as 500. Go back to reference level, and then this one I'm going to adjust a little bit. So I'm going to grab this guy and move it up, let's say 4 inches temporarily. Then I'm going to grab the revolve, I'm going to edit this revolve, and then this line here I'm going to make it half of this distance away from the center line. So that would be 4.313 more or less inches. And now let's see, can we just accept? Yep. I'm gonna delete this one here. I can delete this here. I can grab this one. And let's just eyeball it from here to like around here. Let's nudge it down a little bit. Just like that. Now we can go to the left plane. Let's extend this a little bit. So it goes in. Let's actually nudge it to the right a little bit more so that it goes in. That should be good enough. We can now select this and mirror, pick an axis. I'm going to make sure I copy. I click here. I can ignore this. I can grab this one and mirror drawing axis from the center line, and I'm going to give 120 degrees. I can ignore this, and again you could have done an array there, but I'm just doing it systematically here. I can grab all this now and then do a mirror picking line, and now I can grab both of them and do a mirror picking line, and we can ignore it. Let's take a look at our 3D view, and that's looking beautiful. All we need to do is change this inlet diameter to be now 8 inches, and that's perfect. So let's save it. Save as family, fire pump test header, radial, and this is all the way up to 2000 GPM. Save, and that's it.